Michael Crimmins. He's running for something.
Hey, Oscar.
Of course, I've heard he's never run away from anything.
Right? Wow.
Right, Mike?
Mary?
He never run away from anything.
That's right. The Marine Corps, we take the fight to you. How you doing? Michael Crimmins. Hey, everybody. I'm Michael Crimmins. I'm running against Nancy Pelosi's best friend for Congress, Susan Davis. You're in the 53rd District. This is the 53rd District. Why do I say that Susan Davis is Nancy Pelosi's best friend? She's been in Congress for 10 years. And if you look at her overall record, for 10 years, she votes with the Democrats 93.2%. But if you look at her last 2 years since President Obama's been in office, it's 99.4%. There's only 4 individuals in Congress that have a higher voting record than she does. Obviously Nancy Pelosi at 100%, you know, and then Congresswoman Solis up in LA, but she's only been recorded like a little bit over 30 votes. This is based upon over 1,300 votes. So there's no independent critical thinking skills there on the part of Susan Davis. She's a nice lady, but she needs to go. She doesn't represent us. She's just a rubber stamp for whatever Nancy Pelosi wants to do. A little bit about my background. I'm a retired Marine Corps Naval Flight Officer, combat veteran. Went back to school on the VA GI Bill, gift from a grateful nation, after Desert Storm. And then I taught here in San Diego city schools, mainly down in the barrio and over in southeast San Diego. And then I went off to non-public school. Non-public school is for profit. We take all the kids that blow out of their public school placements. So we're talking about kids with serious issues that we got to get socialized, get their skill set so they can get out into the public and get a job, but not get incarcerated where they cost us a lot of money. So that's just a little bit about my background. This is my second time at the rodeo, so to speak. I was also the 2008 nominee for the Republican Party, and I defeated 2 people in the primary back then. 1 dropped out because of ethical reasons. Talking about that, 2 most important things that we should have in a candidate or someone who's an office holder: moral clarity and integrity. And a lot of these individuals that have been elected to public office back in D.C., if they were held to the same standards that I was held to in the Marine Corps, within 5 minutes, adios, CSMO, collect stuff, move out. It's the way it is. Why? They violated their oath of office, which is important. But more importantly, or just as importantly, they're supposed to be role models for the rest of the citizens of our country. But what about our children? So what's going on in our country right now is generational theft of their futures. You cannot continue to tax, borrow, spend, and print money without deleterious effects. Generation, I look around the room, some of us are going to be dead and gone. But what about our heirs? What are we passing down? This is immoral, what is going on. So that's just a little bit about my background. Like I said, I'm a combat veteran, Vietnam through Desert Storm. So I know how important it is to support, defense industry and our, wounded veterans, wounded combat veterans, so.
I didn't have time to make a motion to endorse you.
Well, thank you very much.
Second. Motion for endorsement?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
No.
Well, guess what, Mike? You're yours.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very approachable. If any of you need my cell number or ever want to talk to me, pencils poised, 619-917-2142. You all should have it because everybody else has it. And I respond individually. Everybody knows that. So it's just really, really important. The other issue that's very important for our country is protecting our borders. All of our borders and all of our ports of entry. I taught in southeast San Diego, so most of my population were Americans of Mexican or African descent. Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood. And here I am, 6'3½", walk in and you can see the hate in their eyes. And we have to move our kids forward in school. So you got to get buy-in almost immediately. And I would always say, we have 2 things in common. First of all, we're all Americans. Inevitably, some kid of American, Mexican descent would raising, Mr. Michael, I'm Mexican. No, words mean things. That's your ethnicity. You have to be an American citizen to be sitting in our classrooms. Otherwise, you don't belong here. Don't throw me out. I'm an American. I'm an American. Then I would always go over and touch the American flag, much like this classroom. 35% of them don't have it. So I brought my own, fold it up. And I said, and I would always go and either touch the flag, and I would say, this flag represents each and every one of us equally, and you need to understand equally. It doesn't care whether you're black, brown, tan, white, yellow, Native American. It doesn't care whether you're rich or poor. It doesn't care whether you worship one God, many gods, or no gods. It doesn't care whether you're educated or uneducated. Fortunately for you all, I care that you're educated and you're going to learn a lot of stuff. But the beauty of our country is we're a multicultural, diverse, ethnic population. The strength of our country is immigration, but it's legal immigration. And we would talk about that. And I would grab these kids in about an hour, you know, and they would realize they had an unusual teacher that was on their side, not against them. Because so many teachers are against the students. They're 9 to 5ers. They show up and they clock out. They're not there for the kids. And Oscar talked about that, you know. But there are a lot of, believe it or not, there are a lot of teachers that are conservative, but as you go up the food chain to the top, they're all liberal loonies far to the left. You know, they're there for their own self-aggrandizement. Warren, how you doing, buddy? So thank you very much. Does anybody have a quick question?
Can you really quickly say your website or how?
Oh, sure. I'll give you all my cards. The website, how easy. Crimmins for Congress, FOR, Congress.com. And the Gmail is crimmins4congress@gmail.com. So thank you very much. And it's so, what I always tell everybody also, that this race in November, it's definitional for our country. It is going to define what the United States is on the morning of November 3rd, Wednesday morning. Is that Ed Forley over there? Ed Forley? No, sorry. All right. We're going to know what kind of a country we have going forward. And if we put the Democrats back in power, guess what? Shut off the lights, lock the doors. Because it's all over for us and it's all over for small business. Because everything that the Obama administration has passed is going to get rubber stamped in the House of Representatives, and the money's going to be appropriated. Goodbye. That's what it is. Yes, sir.
Just a comment that most people don't realize that 40% of the teachers in California are Republicans.
Yeah.
They all think that they're all.
Yeah. But we all talk around quietly in dark little corners, you know. And then I always had, with principals before I became an administrator, we have a difference of opinion. They would always say that to me. We have a difference of, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we have differences.
Okay.
I'd just like to make one comment. Michael didn't mention this, but he is endorsed by the Combat Veterans for Congress. And it's a nationwide organization that's supporting 27 veterans that are running for Congress throughout the United States. And it's an august group. I met Michael at their meeting here in LA last February. Yeah. And fully
The
support.
difference between them and us is we are strictly Republicans in our club.
Well, as the chairman of the Combat Veterans for Congress would say, all of us have been vetted, and the people in San Diego, there's 3 of us, Duncan Hunter, Nick Popovich, and myself. Duncan's out, Nick in the 51st running against Bob Filner, Duncan's in the 52nd, and I'm in the 53rd. As the chairman of that PAC said, if we could find a Democrat who supported fiscal responsibility, small government, and national defense, he would be more than happy to endorse that Democrat. But they're not out there.
Oh, no, I was just,
Did you want to speak?
I was just waiting to you, if I could.
You want to
Okay.
speak? Okay.
So that's Combat Veterans for Congress. There's like Bill said, there's like 25 or 26 of us throughout the United States, and 16 or 16 different states. What's the advantage of that? We've all been vetted. They've checked us out. And we all don't have skeletons in our closets or shadows following us around, like some of our nefarious leaders that we know what we're talking about. So, thank you very much, and thank you for the endorsement.